At the very outset, I would like to congratulate the weather events for creating this platform we discover and for disseminating knowledge and experience through speakers from different walks of life. I also would like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to speak to your viewers on this very important topic of the RTC's response in the COVID-19 pandemic situation. My own background is in education, to be specific, in higher education. I had been a teacher in a college for several years, almost 2 decades back in Shiva College in Far East Bhutan. But for the last almost 12 years, I am associated with academic management of the college as the Dean of Academic Affairs at the Royal Thimphu College, which is the first private college in Bhutan. My conversation on this platform today is on the response and adaptations of the Royal Thimphu College to the COVID-19 pandemic, particularly focusing on the transformation from the on-site to online teaching learning, which is happening at the Royal Thimphu College, RTC. Before I begin, by way of a disclaimer, I would like to mention that the views that I am sharing here today is that of the Royal Thimphu College and my own personal view. Obviously, I subscribe to the views of the Royal Thimphu College, but it may not be necessarily the views of the larger university fraternity in the country. One of the key assessments made by RTC early on was to recognize that the pandemic was likely to permanently alter the landscape of higher education, and that it would be a long time for things to go back to normal again. While this pandemic has been unprecedented and exceptional, a resilient system needs to incorporate the likely occurrences of such future pandemics as being a new normal. With this in mind, RTC decided to embrace online and remote learning options as a vital part of its approach rather than as a stopgap measure. The Royal Thimphu College has initiated several changes in campus operations since 6th of March, after the first COVID-19 was confirmed in Bhutan, and the academic institutions were closed on government's advice. As the guidance has been extended further on educational institutes to remain closed for classes, RTC has continued and further made significant improvements in our delivery through the online platforms. To start with, keeping in mind the health and safety of our students, faculty, and the entire community in the college, we have put in place all safety measures as advised by the Health Ministry. We have sent all our students home and have asked our staff and faculty to work in smaller groups, either from their homes or from their offices. All our meetings and discussions are held in small groups, maintaining the physical distance required, along with online provisions while having those meetings and discussions. Some of the key measures that RTC has taken up include enhanced communication. We in RTC believe that communication is the key to effective management, and we often talk about over-communication. So in this hour of crisis, we feel that communication is even more critical. So we have adequately informed our stakeholders about the health and safety, along with the need to continue our teaching learning through online mode. Very early on, the college established a COVID-19 RTC Operations Task Force with a clear mandate to do a rapid information sharing and work on short-term, medium-term, and long-term strategies for the college. This task force meets 3 to 4 times every week. In fact, it has already made about 20 times in the last 2 weeks, or a little more than that. And it makes the analysis or takes the stocks of the situations and reports to the college management for deliberation and for taking actions. In fact, the college management committee, which normally would meet once a week, meets at least twice in a week to take stock of the situation and will act on the advice from the task force and any other developments that is happening in and around the country. Some of the key issues identified by the task force include the technical support and its enhancement. RTC already had a Moodle-based virtual learning environment, or what is called as VLE. This has been updated and tested regularly for its efficiency, and we are satisfied that this serves as the official platform for faculty members to upload their teaching lessons, students to access it and do their tasks, submit their assignments, do their tests, etc., using this platform. In addition to that, the faculty also use other platforms like Google Class, Google Meet, etc., and used it regularly with, along with the students. The next thing that was given to the task force to work on was provide training of the tutors, training to the tutors. We had 2 rounds of training for the faculty. In fact, the second round of training was conducted during a weekend, and it was very intensive. Faculty members would come to the laboratories, IT labs to work, to put on their work plans on the VLE and get trained so that they can run their online classes smoothly. So this was another aspect of our preparedness. The third mandate for the task force was to study the situation with regard to students, their access to the online classes, engagement and participation. So we know that students are our main stakeholders, and we need to reach out to each and every student to find out if they have the devices, if they have adequate internet access, or do they have data package, to work online. So initially, we found that the student participation was slightly low, about 50%, but now last 2 weeks we have been following up, and we are very satisfied that the participation rate of the student is close to 100%. And if few students are still not able to come online, we call them, we ask their difficulties and provide counseling and other guidance and other support. So college has already provided some data package to all the students and will continue to do on a monthly basis. So besides these, the other step that RTC has taken is on staff redeployment. We have found that under this situation, some staff could not work at the same pace and rate as they had been doing. For example, our International Relations Office has reduced work because of the international student exchange program has to come to a halt because of the global situation. So while most of the work are continuing, those who had reduced workload because of the situation are redeployed to help with the academics, assisting the program leaders in their management, reaching out to the students, carry out surveys, etc. So basically to support the online teaching learning. We had been able to come fully online with our ongoing programs within approximately 2 weeks. This required significant and concerted measures to be taken by everybody. Supporting the continuity of semester's academic progression was prioritized, and programs transition to fully remote learning was strengthened through various ways and means, which I have already mentioned earlier. But if I may repeat some of the things for the sake of reinforcement, we have established the task force, which is intensively working. We have strengthened our online teaching learning platforms, particularly the virtual learning environment, or the VLE. We have reallocated our human resource to support the online teaching learning. And we have also developed and adopted quality framework for monitoring the online teaching learning processes happening, and also communicating frequently and openly with our stakeholders. So what we have realized, or our experience so far have been now, that to fully embrace the remote teaching learning that is already ongoing through the online mode, a combination of strategies can be employed, such as one, restructure the programs that we have to continue progression of more theory-based modules, and postpone the practical-based modules, and conduct certain modules that cannot be done now in a block, intensive blocks later, as the time becomes conducive. We should also adapt the assessment systems for the online mode. We cannot conduct the certain assessments in the way that we have been doing in the classroom. So we have to also make certain adaptations when it comes to assessments when we are doing through online mode. We have also realized now that we have to perhaps postpone the semester end examination or the final examinations at the end of the semester, or replace these with 100% continuous assessments. So we are also working in those lines. The fourth point that I would like to add here is perhaps we may have to recognize marks through a pass-fail system that is increasingly being adopted by many university systems worldwide. So for all this to happen, the four things that I have just mentioned to happen, we are in discussions with the Royal University of Bhutan, to which the RTC is academically affiliated, and we are hopeful that we will find a very suitable and a common way out for the entire university system in the country. In the meantime, we are also looking out to the outside universities for good examples. It is in fact rare to find any big and famous institutions in the world who have canceled their academic semester. In fact, they are all going online and are continuing with their educational delivery. So in summary, reflecting on the message of His Majesty the King that learning must continue, we feel that it would be a gross abrogation of our shared responsibilities if we did not pursue every means to try and get education back on track. If we, as the custodians of higher education, can show the way, the rest of the education fraternity can surely find some inspiration and solutions to their own challenges. It is in these moments of crisis that the aphorism, where there is a will, there is a way, can be of help, and that will help us find path. As much as we are all struggling to find a path through these exceptionally difficult times. We are more than ready to share any learnings and lessons that we have uncovered so far. And we also hope to learn from other institutions alike within and outside the country. In fact, one of the things that we have come to know, and in fact we have found merit in the online system, is that now we are able to move to student-centric learning from the normal conventional teacher-centric learning. Now we see that more and more students are taking responsibilities of their own learning. They have to download materials from the virtual learning environment or wherever it is posted, and they have to study, they have to read, they have to do their own assignments. So in a way, students are developing better reading habits, and also they are taking responsibilities of their own learning. So this is something that we could not do in the regular system, conventional system, in class, situation. So we are happy that at least this is something that our students are able to do, and hopefully this becomes very good opportunity for students to take the responsibilities of their own learning in future. We are grateful to His Majesty the King for his benevolence leadership. In fact, we Bhutanese must feel proud and fortunate to be in this country today. Our government is constantly working very hard under the guidance of His Majesty the King, and is successful in tackling the spread of COVID-19 within the country. We are very fortunate that we have no community transmission as yet, and we are able to do most of our normal work pretty conveniently and even travel around. So we really must count our fortune at this time. As the part of the education fraternity, on our part, I think we can serve the society by exploring the newer ways of teaching learning and not just wait and see. As a forward-looking educational institute, the Royal Thimphu College would like to exhibit good examples and good practices, and would like to inspire other institutions and the society at large in this current circumstances. So I'd like to end my presentation with this. Thank you and Kadinchel.